Welcome all. I'm Richard Kuipers from Container Wave Radio, and today we're going to interview Geoff Miles from Aero Placement Services. Welcome, Geoff. Welcome to Container Wave Radio, and welcome to our office. You told me that you were starting your own business in the aged healthcare. Could you just tell us a bit more about it and how you intend to start your business?
Richard, what we're planning to do is to establish a business that just specialises in in-home care. So this is care that people can have in their own homes to assist them, to make them safe, to provide companionship and domestic services. And so to that end, we are now training people to work in this area. We're selecting people. We've been very fortunate in developing basically a group of about 40 people who want to work with our service. And these are people that are eminently suited because of the way in which they care for aged people, the enjoyment that they derive from communication and working with aged people. They are of a particular culture, and we feel very fortunate to have made contact with these people, and these people are going to be the ones who are going to be providing the care in home. We will be linking them together with people that need care, and linking them together with people that they can actually develop a relationship with, that the aging can trust, that they can see as reliable, and they can look forward to having in their homes to help them be safe.
Geoff, in my business, staff is always the biggest issue. How are you going to cope with your staff, and where are you going to get them from?
And one of my advisory board, a gentleman by the name of Ken Patterson, is a very, very keen networker. He was in the Edgecliff Shopping Centre some 5 months ago, and he saw a couple of ladies laughing together, working, sitting at a cafe, and we'd been talking about how we were going to staff this business, and Ken went and spoke to those two ladies, and he said, I think you probably work as carers locally. And they laughed and they invited Ken to sit down. Now these two ladies were from the Fijian community, and they'd been working as carers in this area for more than a decade, and they loved their work. And plus they knew many people from their community who also wanted to work in this area. Ken introduced these two ladies to me, and I meet regularly with them. And in a sense, I find myself being coached by these ladies about what we require for care, what clients need, the sort of things that they enjoy, and the needs that they have. And it's been invaluable to me to meet these two people who can actually help me understand the soft skills that are required. Many people can come in with training and follow through with the process, but the relational skills are the ones that we're looking for. And these ladies have provided that for us, and provided us in understanding what is important in this area.
Geoff, what would the cost be for the service you provide in home care?
We pay the carers, and the families of the people that are being cared for, they actually pay us. Of course there's a margin, as you would understand, for administration and for insurances and all of the requirements for a business. But we actually guarantee the people that will come to the place, we guarantee the service will happen, and the service, we're very competitive with rates. The rates are in the order of round about $40, either side of $40 an hour, depending on whether or not they're just getting domestic services and companionship, or whether there's a higher level of care that involves those processes of lifting and managing medications and showering and those sort of activities.
Geoff, I understand that your service would be very handy for taking people shopping or taking them out. getting them out of the house. But when you're talking about pills, handing out pills, are your staff qualified to do this kind of work?
There'll be two levels of training. So, in a sense, the people that will be doing the higher level of care will be required to have a formal qualification, either Certificate 3 in aged care or Certificate 4 in aged care. Okay. And in a sense, that's if you're going to be managing the critical elements of medication and special treatment, that sort of training is required. And all our staff will be trained in first aid. They will have police checks, and we will have interviewed them and made ourselves known to them, and we will be applying time and effort to ensuring that the people that are going to be caring for, say in your case, caring for your parents, we make sure that there's a compatibility, and we monitor what's going on regularly so that we can ensure that a real quality service is being offered. Also, on the other matter of medical care, most people have their own network of medical specialists that they've been under the care of for some time, and we're not seeking to move in beyond that. All we're seeking to do is to facilitate the care that these people will get, and that's what we're looking to ensure, that they get the care that they require to stay safe and to stay well for as long as possible.
Geoff, I suppose also that your staff are going to help the elderly, like washing up, doing the dishes, making up the beds, the laundry, all the domestic chores for them, or help them at least.
As people call us and ask us what our offering will be, we ask to go and meet with the people that are seeking our support. We will meet for them. We will have a minimum of 30 minutes where we can basically talk to them and try and discern what their needs will be. Now, that will also help us know whether we can help them or whether we can't. And this we want to know. We want to make sure that the care that they're seeking is care that we can offer. We believe we'll be able to help them. Sometimes we won't be able to help them. So we want to make sure that that's well understood at a very early stage. And these meetings, these assessments, they're free. They're things that we just want to be able to go and offer people and make sure that they're comfortable, that they've been heard, that their needs have been heard. Then we can come back with an idea of what it may cost, because the per hourly cost is not necessarily the most important cost. The cost is how much time is required. Some people will require 24/7 care, and some people may only require something like 6 to 10 hours a week, and that's enough for cooking, for food preparation, for basic levels of care and cleaning. So each situation will be different depending on the needs of the client.
I suppose the biggest market would be the aged care people, but have you also considered looking after the people that may be in wheelchair or people that need special care?
It's certainly the interest in aged care that has driven the establishment of our business, but we're confident that we will be able to provide the care for those people that are now, many who are now living independently in the community, but they still need certain levels of care just to help them get around, shopping. There's some very basic things that we take for granted where people actually need support and care as they go through.
Geoff, and how are you going to promote your business? I believe you are going online.
Good question. We've just started this week, and we've started with a mail out in a particular area of Sydney, and we're putting out about 3,000 flyers. We want to start this business slowly. We want to make sure that the service we're offering is a reliable service and it's a service that we can sustain. So we're just looking for initial contacts of people we then believe that the solid growth of our business will be word of mouth, because the areas that we've chosen to do the service are where there are high levels of ageing people live. So we've carefully chosen the areas that we're going to market in, and then, in a sense, we want to just go slowly and make sure that we become known as reliable and a provider of a service that people enjoy. The things that are required more than anything, we believe, are the capacity for the client to be known. All of the people that we will care for, they have interesting stories. They will enjoy talking about their lives, where they come from, the things that they've done. There are many people in our community now that have no one to talk to, and we believe that providing that, especially as families are busier, the children are both working, they're paying school fees, there's a tremendous pressure on everybody in our society today, and often the care and the companionship that the ageing have as one of the costs of our lifestyle.
This is an interesting subject, Geoff, because I'm getting older myself. What are the options for older people for the care in later life?
The journey to a retirement village is often a painful one. It's often as people live together. I heard a young man talk at a convention last year, and he spoke about his grandparents. When he was young, he would come home from school, and because his grandparents lived near where his parents lived, their first port of call when they got home from school was the grandparents. There was always scones, there was always interesting food, and their grandparents were interested in them. They wanted to know what they'd learnt. There was all this sort of thing. And this young man then spoke of a journey as they got into high school and they had after school activities. They used to visit their grandparents less. Then they went to university, and then they found, as they visited their grandparents, and they had a very good relationship with their grandparents, but there wasn't much going on. There was only just a packet of biscuits on the table and a cup of tea. And so often the journey to ageing is a gradual loss of community, a gradual loss of connection with family, because of the loss of faculty and the loss of movement that comes with age. And so, and this is one of the things that we see. So people, as they age, they have home, and generally there is the fall. A person has a fall, and they are then judged unable to look after themselves, and they move into an aged care facility. And these places are working very hard and doing a very good job at looking after people, and they're providing a very safe place. But they do lose connection with the family. And one of the things that we think we can do is, by providing safety and reliability and a regular connection with that person, we can actually help them maintain contact with their families. We can actually help them maintain contact with their people. And one of the things that I heard a person talking about not so long ago was the carers now accompany people when they go out to dinner, as they used to often, with their friends. And so that people might have dinner, but the carers accompany them to provide safety as they travel to and from. So the service that we will provide will also extend their normal level of community. And there will come a time when they do need full-time care. We all recognise that. But it's a journey that we believe we can help to be safer than it was before.
When you're elderly and live by yourself, wouldn't you like to go out with people your own age?
Richard, and that's a very good question, and there's two elements in the answer to that. they can be supported by the carers to go and meet their friends and to often to go and sit with their friends and talk about those things. But also the carers, one of the things that we're finding is very, very important is that the carers just don't go to care for a increasingly frail person. There is a need to know the client. There is a need to know their history, their family, who they were married to, the things that they remember in history. My wife often comes home from working in a facility talking about some of the very interesting people she met, people that have written well-known books. A lady who was, I think she was the first pilot for Qantas that she cared for. A gentleman who I meet occasionally with a gentleman who was an insurance consultant, and he was the person that alerted the press to the state of the finances with HIH. Now that was only 20 years ago. Some of the people that are cared for have had very, very interesting lives.
When you get older, you also seem to go back to your language of your origin.
As we think of Sydney is a city of villages, and people tend to settle in the same area. And you know, there's areas in the southwest of Sydney where the Vietnamese people moved into. Now, they came in the late 70s. That's 35 years ago. Some of those people are ageing, and when they move into facilities, the ideal carer is somebody that has Vietnamese as a language. There was a situation in Melbourne where, and one of the capabilities we have is assisting skilled migration, and one of the places down there, a organisation called Fronditha Care. Fronditha Care is a Greek-sponsored, beneficial organisation, and they run aged care facilities for Greek people. And they've got permission from the federal government to for 50 457 visas for nurses from Greece, because many of the Greek people that came out in the 50s and the 60s, because of age and because of frailty, they're losing the English they have learned as a second language. And Greek is the language, modern Greek is the language that they now understand best and respond to. So they've made the case to the federal government that the carers should have a very good understanding of Greek, because that is the language that people have reverted to. And so the point you make about place of origin, culture and religion is very, very important for people to be well cared for. And it's areas that we're interested in. Certainly the areas that we're looking into, the people are, the majority of people are from originally Australian background. But as the business will move into other areas, we will need to have people that have language capability and cultural understanding of the ageing person.
Well, Geoff, ageing I know because I'm getting older myself. What do you think is the best solution? There's no really the perfect solution, but when people live in a house for a long, long time themselves, and you know they're not really capable of living there, wouldn't it be better if they went to an aged care facility?
Yeah, it's a very good question, Richard, because it raises that issue, where and when is the best care available to a person. And I think what we at Arrow Placement Services are seeking to do is, to safely extend the time that people can stay in their own home. Facilities are absolutely essential. The concentration of services, the full-time clinic sisters that are available there, these things are absolutely essential services. And also many of these places are now seen as their facilities are so good that they're end-of-life facilities. So people get to live in their own room, and there is no need for them as they age and as facility draws away. They actually can stay there. They don't have a need to go to hospital at that last point in time. Many things in facility care are improving, as they are everywhere. I think we need to be proud of our community and the way in which we are doing this. But the services that we will offer, we're looking to extend the time that people can stay in their own home. Because when they leave their own home and they go to another facility, there is a inevitable sense of confusion. Where am I? What's going on? This is not home. I want to go home. I can't see the bus stop outside. There's all of these things, and so we look to extend safely and in a personable way the care that people can get. And along with the other thing, drawing to the question that you raised before, with the carer there to help a person get ready, they can continue to go to family functions, they continue to go to their regular community places, be it cards, be it whatever. I understand you're a bit of a card player yourself.
Yes, I am a bridge player. I've played bridge all my life. We've just renovated. We put all the safety guards, we put railings, we put... A lot of houses haven't got that. And when you get older, you need all these handrails. And how do you do that? Do you get sponsorship from the government?
The government has a facility called ACAT, Aged Care Assessment Teams, and these people actually visit people in their own home as they're alerted by doctors or family to the need for care. The government actually provides that, and they will provide recommendations for the things that are required, and much of the funding, I understand, to develop these facilities for people that need these sort of things: rails in showers, ramps instead of steps, things like that. These are the things that are also provided within our society, and I see the business that we're developing as providing that place where care in the home can be safely extended for the comfort of the person, the ageing person, the person that deserves our respect and care.
We're fortunate to live in such a fantastic country, and we have fantastic medical services here, and we have such understanding for the elderly and compassion for the elderly. Geoff, thank you for coming, and would you like to come back to Container Wave Radio soon again?
Yes, thank you very much,
Richard,
for the opportunity. Thank you.